Hello, and welcome to our interview with Janelle Milanes, the Program Manager of the College Essay and Writing Workshops at Write the World. Janelle, thank you for joining us today. We're so excited to learn more about Write the World and discuss the connections between creative writing, college essays, and writing competitions.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to talk to you today.
Okay, thank you. And to start, a lot of parents and students are curious about the founding of Write the World. So Write the World is actually becoming one of the most popular creative writing competitions in the United States, and also among international school students in China, of course. Can you tell us more about the founding and the mission behind creating such a community for young writers?
Yes, absolutely. So Write the World is a nonprofit organization dedicated to providing a safe and supportive community for young writers where they can find their voice. We were founded in 2012 at Harvard University by David Weinstein. And a lot of the underlying pedagogy that really is embedded into our site is from the work of Dr. Nancy Summers, who is a writing professor at Harvard. And she championed writing as a social activity. So we really take that philosophy seriously at Write the World. And we've since worked with over 100,000 teenagers from over 125 countries worldwide. So we're really dedicated to supporting young writers to develop the writing and critical thinking skills, reading, communication, all these skills that we feel are, essential for them to become successful global citizens. And achieve success not only just in school, but beyond in their careers and life. A lot of our young writers have taken a lot of the skills acquired through Write the World and, gone on to use them in many areas of their lives. So we offer a platform for students to kind of connect with a global audience, to publish their writing, to receive feedback from their peers, and our team of educators and writers. So that's really what our platform aims to do. And in addition to this platform, we also offer monthly writing competitions, creative writing workshops, and a college application essay program.
Wow, that sounds really amazing. And you just mentioned about your college essay program. Can you tell us more about it and what the program consists of?
Sure. So our college essay program provides students with an on-demand course that guides them through the college essay writing process from start to finish. And since creative writing really underpins so much of what we do, we find that our program really aligns with these creative writing skills that we feel are so important in the college essay. A lot of students hear the word essay and their mind immediately goes to kind of a more formulaic, maybe the type of essays that they learn to write in schools. But we feel that the college essay is really a form of creative nonfiction. So a lot of the skills that we practice in creative writing really come in useful when it comes to writing the college essay. So our program really helps students through the brainstorming process, all of the writing process that we, our team of advisors, we're all writers primarily. So we have a deep-seated knowledge of the writing process and we kind of guide students through from start to finish. And then outside of our course, we also offer a college essay review service in which students submit an essay draft to us, and then we provide them with comprehensive feedback within 48 hours of submission. So we do really feel that revision and editing are such crucial components of the writing process that are often overlooked. That's really what our college essay review service is about. And through our program, we've taught over 100 students, and many of them have, received entry into colleges like Harvard, Columbia, Brown, and many other schools.
Wow, that sounds really amazing, really cool. And I totally agree with that. College essay writing and creative writing share so much in common. And yeah. So one thing I've noticed is that when parents are deciding whether to support their children to join a writing competition or a writing workshop or program, they often ask themselves or they ask the teachers, can my kids win an award in this competition? And will this workshop or program definitely help my kids get in or win an award? Do you think this result-driven mindset will serve the parents and children well?
I actually to be blunt, I don't think it serves them well. I think it can actually be a disservice. When you have the attitude where it's all about winning, I think, and when winning overshadows everything else, I think the mindset can be harmful to personal growth. And I feel that a good way to reframe that mindset is to kind of broaden it a bit. So what does winning really entail? Not just in the short term, but throughout life. So maybe instead of just winning a competition or something, you're thinking more, what will bring future success for my child? What does success actually look like? What will bring connection? What will bring them contentment? Because winning is, it's so often outside of our control with those kinds of short-term results. So, and the winner of something like a writing competition, it can be very subjective. So there really is no surefire way to say, yes, your child can win this. So it's all such a subjective process, especially when it comes to writing. So I think what's better is to think about setting up your child for long-term success, thinking about what skills you want them to have throughout their lives. So this perspective I feel can help children in the future more than something as short-term as just a competition. And I think also in terms of colleges, they are looking for students who are passionate about learning for the sake of learning rather than taking courses or entering competitions or doing something for the sake of fulfilling a requirement of some kind.
Okay, thank you very much for your valuable insights. And actually, that's also what I tell a lot of parents. And well, I basically, a lot of parents, especially Chinese parents, they are quite utilitarian. And but that's not what the colleges are looking for. So in your opinion, what are the most significant benefits of participating in a writing competition? And what can students gain from participating, even if they don't win an award?
That's a great question. I think that competitions can be quite motivating for students to step outside of their comfort zones. And it offers them an opportunity to have their writing looked at by a larger audience, which is something that is very motivating. Since writing can sometimes be such an isolated activity, it gives you someone to write for, essentially. And it helps them, I think, in terms of what they can gain. They're able to better find their voices, develop communication skills, strengthen their written communication skills. So I think all of this in terms of being a member of a global community where in this competition or one of our competitions, you can be exposed to such a wide range of different perspectives and life experiences. And you really get a sense of who is a member of this community with you. Get to know writers from all over the globe, get a change in perspective. I think something that's really special about our competitions is the opportunity to receive peer review. So I had mentioned before about writing as a social activity, but it really helps you to give and receive feedback, which is such a valuable skill, not just in writing, but throughout your life. The way to take constructive criticism in, how to offer it to someone. So I think there are many benefits, in short, to entering our writing competitions, even if you don't win an award. I think what you gain is more valuable than just winning.
A lot of high school students around the world, especially those from China, they're eager to participate in academic writing competitions like John Locke or the Concord Review. Some students and parents, they tend to believe that awards from academic writing competitions would help them gain an edge in college application. However, it seems that there is less enthusiasm for creative writing competitions. Do you have the same feelings? And do you think the value of creative writing is underrated?
I do think generally creative writing is something of a lost art in many high schools. So I don't necessarily think that's on the part of the students. I think students are actually very passionate when it comes to writing creatively once they get started. But I do feel that in many high schools, and I don't want to generalize, but from what I've seen in many high schools, there is a focus on academic writing specifically, and students being taught to write in a more formulaic manner. So like the 5-paragraph academic essay where you have your thesis and your supporting details, your topic sentences, which is not to say that those essays or that type of writing isn't important, because I do also feel that academic writing is crucial. They teach you how to research, how to think critically, how to construct logical arguments. But I do feel that in the process, sometimes creative writing is overlooked. And, now more than ever, being a creative thinker is hugely important in the global community. It was actually deemed one of the 12 skills deemed essential for success in a new global economy. So I do think it's an underrated skill, and creative writing can offer something that is often lost in the more academic writing.
Yeah, totally agree, especially in the age of ChatGPT and like all the artificial intelligence.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I have explored ChatGPT, and I find that as of now, at least, it's just unable to replicate the authenticity that is often found in creative writing.
Yeah.
Whereas with something a little more formulaic, like I mentioned with the academic essay, it's much more successful at replicating that.
Yeah. So how do you think students' creative writing skills would affect their college application process?
So when it comes to the college essay, I think a strong grasp on creative writing is such an asset, because the college essay, and what we tell students is the college essay is essentially a form of creative writing. It's a creative nonfiction piece or a personal narrative. So I don't think that this is widely known or discussed often, because even the way we refer to it as an essay, you have an image of the type of essays you're taught to write in high school. But I think it's worth noting that colleges are seeking students who are demonstrating a passion and a unique perspective. Schools are looking for a range of voices within a given student cohort every year. So they're asking, what can this student in particular bring to our class community? How can they contribute to our discussions? So I feel that creative writing is really uniquely equipped to illustrate that kind of passion and to showcase the personality of a student in a way that other forms of writing cannot. So in that sense, the college essay is really your opportunity to tell admissions officers who you are, beyond your transcripts, your grades, your extracurriculars. This is really your chance to tell them about yourselves and what makes you unique, what makes you authentic. So I feel that creative writing just hugely underpins the college essay.
Yeah, thank you, Janelle, for such a comprehensive and insightful answer. So do you have any advice for Chinese students or international students in general on improving their creative writing skills and their college essay writing?
Yeah, I feel that like any skill, creative writing is something that takes practice. So one thing that Write the World offers is an opportunity for them to hone their skills within a safe and supportive environment, within a community of just lovely peers and mentors who can really support these writers as they develop their voice. And in terms of college essay writing, I feel like the most unique college essays really do incorporate these creative writing techniques. So like I mentioned before, college essays are essentially personal narratives. So you're telling college admissions officers your story, describing one or two moments in your life, and using so many of these creative literary devices like scene setting, dialogue, sensory details. So I feel that practicing these creative writing skills, publishing them in a way where you can receive feedback, those are all really important things to keep in mind. So by developing these creative writing skills, the natural effect is you are also developing your college essay writing skills, even if you're not doing it purposely. It's just a natural effect of that development.
Yeah, so Write the World will definitely be a great opportunity for them, like to experiment with their writing styles and their voices, right. And yeah. So for those students who are interested in submitting their writing to Write the World, a lot of them, they're curious about the expert review offered to the first 50 drafts submitted. So did that mean those students who submit early will have a higher chance of winning?
In short, no, but I'll go into more details. So we offer monthly writing competitions in a variety of genres. So we have songwriting, opinion articles, fantasy writing. So it's such a wide range. And we not only offer a winner in terms of who won the competition itself, but who also provided the best peer review. So that goes along with saying that we really value feedback first and foremost, and the process of writing. So the first 50 writers, yes, do get an opportunity to receive personalized feedback from our team of experts. And we call that our expert reviews, where we will have authors, writing teachers, or education professionals look at a student's writing and provide a comprehensive feedback report, essentially. And we do feel that this approach to writing is critical. As far as I know, we are one, if not the only writing competition that offers students this chance to have someone review their draft prior to submission. But we do feel that rather than having a perfectly polished writing piece, that this is so important to think about writing as a process. So I don't necessarily feel that if you do receive an expert review, that doesn't necessarily give you a higher chance of winning, because I think for many reasons, the skill level that a student starts at, it's so varied. Students are starting from all different types of skill levels. But I do feel that the feedback provided by our expert reviewers is incredibly robust. So it will absolutely help you improve your piece from where it began. And on that note, reviewing is only part of the process as well. So it really matters whether the student is taking in this feedback, how they're applying it to their writing, what next steps they take from there. So while it gives you an opportunity to improve your piece, it's not necessarily a shortcut to winning. There are students who don't receive the expert reviews who go on to win the competitions as well.
Okay, so what kind of work will have a higher chance of winning an award? Like, what do you think?
I mean, it's so hard to say. We've had students in a variety of skill levels winning awards. So there's no one pathway to winning. And it's, like I had mentioned, it's so subjective. There are pieces that I've read, I thought, for sure, this is the winning piece. And then, the guest judge might have chosen another piece that resonated with them in one way. So it's really impossible to say. So I think it's more useful to think about writing rather than winning and just telling your authentic story. And where we find that it's often the stories with a fresh or unique perspective that win our competitions. And that's not to say that you need to force that either, to make your story sound more unique or unusual. One of the benefits, I think, of being this global community at Write the World is that a story that might kind of seem mundane to you or ordinary could really just be incredible for someone on the other side of the world. So I think, yes, it's not that helpful, but it's really, really difficult to say what works will have a higher chance of winning an award. But we also do encourage, I think what will also help is getting feedback from your peers, along with, if you're not able to get an expert review, we have such a supportive community of writers that really pitch in to give advice and to talk about what they loved about your writing. So I think they offer such insightful notes as well that can also help.
Okay. So many of my audience members are parents of young children, such as those in grade 7 or grade 8. So they're not thinking about college essay writing yet. So what kind of advice would you offer to those parents who want to help their children develop their creative writing skills gradually over time in preparation for college essay writing in the future?
Well, I think number one, I think it's wonderful that they're not thinking about their college essay writing yet. And I think that is healthy. And something to keep in mind is, like we mentioned, developing a creative writing practice, I think, is very important. And the way you do that is, I found when I was a teacher, providing students with encouragement went such a long way. So even showing them that you're interested in what they're saying through their writing, giving them that confidence, making them feel like what they're writing about is worthwhile, that is a huge help in encouraging them to continue to practice their writing. And I would say, honestly, it sounds so basic to say, but practicing, even on the days you don't feel like writing, just kind of forcing yourself to put pen to paper or type on your computer, whatever works best for you. Having a goal to work towards too is also really effective in promoting that practice of writing. So something like maybe you're polishing something for our competitions, maybe you're participating in our workshops where you have a group kind of holding you accountable. Maybe even just publishing on the site where someone is actually reading what you produce. That can also be really helpful. And I think for me, when I've written a couple books, I've encountered writer's block, I've encountered trouble getting started and all these difficulties. And what really was most helpful for me, I think, was also reading, and good readers make good writers. So it ends up kind of teaching you the writing process, but not in an explicit way. So the more you read, the more you realize, well, what kind of writing do I gravitate towards? What writing am I interested in pursuing? And then finally, I feel that, like I had said before, the collaboration with others, finding an audience of some kind, either on a global platform like ours, even in a small group of friends, just knowing that someone is reading and enjoying your writing is really essential.
Okay, thank you so much. I believe there are also some monthly writing competitions open to not only high school students, but also grade 8 or 9. So maybe practicing is really the best way to get there. So thank you, Janelle, for being such an amazing guest. I'm sure our audience today will find your advice extremely useful, and I truly appreciate your perspectives and all the information you've shared.
Thank you so much. Yes, I hope this is helpful to some parents, and I hope that they can keep in mind that writing is really building skills for a future rather than, simply winning a competition. But it's crucial for your children to learn how to put these writing skills to use and communicate effectively, and all of these skills they'll gain. So thank you for having me. I really enjoyed speaking with you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm sure a lot of parents will find this really helpful.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you, and bye.
Bye.